Hi folks, welcome back to our discussion on performance appraisal interviews. Now, unfortunately, some of you as future supervisors and managers are going to come into this problem. You're going to find that some of your employees will bite back, as we say. Some of them might get very critical of the way you're conducting the interview. Some of them may be defensive. And you know what? You might be doing all the right things. Right? So you might be saying all the right things, giving them an opportunity to speak, but for some reason they're argumentative. Some people, it's just the way that they defend themselves, right? If they're feeling backed into a corner, or maybe they're feeling guilty about the fact that they didn't meet the goal, sometimes people get angry at themselves and they develop this wall, this defensive behavior. Just know that it's normal. When people aren't making the grade, not everybody's like that, but sometimes, you know, if people are defensive, that's normal. And you should never attack a person's defenses. So don't try and explain to the employee that you understand why they're being defensive. So I remember once one of my friends who had a performance review. She said to me, you know, I remember that when I was in the interview, I was trying to explain to my boss why things happened the way they did and why I didn't make my goals or reach my targets. And I reminded him that we had spoken about this before. And he turned around and said to her, well, I'm sensing that you're being defensive now. There's no need to be like that. And she says, I didn't feel I was being defensive at all. I felt like I was trying to explain why I felt that way. So don't ever call the person a name. Don't tell them they're being whatever. In her case, don't say she's being defensive. Don't say that, you know, they're trying to avoid the issue. Don't say whatever. Don't accuse them of anything, right? So, and don't try and explain to the employee why you think they feel as they do. So you don't have to, one of the things she was concerned about was the fact that, gee, I hope he doesn't think I feel bad about, you know, not making my goals. I really don't feel bad. I just feel, she said to me, I just felt like I wasn't being helped by him, you know. So again, you just don't attack a person. Don't react to people. So if somebody starts to get angry or upset with you, one of your employees is not liking the fact that you're pointing out some of their shortcomings or what's not going well, if they start to get angry and upset, don't you get angry and upset back. You stay calm, right? Because both of you getting upset isn't making that person feel any better, right? So just make sure that you're composed. You don't say too much. You just try and offer solutions and help them work through that defensive behavior. And recognize that you also have limitations too. Sometimes people might be feeling like they're being attacked, even when you're giving a great performance review, meaning that you're doing all the steps right. So you might not be accusing them of anything. You might not be attacking them at all. But they might turn around and say to you, yeah, I've been there before. I get the same kinds of things at home from my family. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. Well, obviously this person has a problem that's much bigger than job performance. They're probably feeling, you know, even in their own social circles or maybe in their family life, like they're not making it, like they're not good enough, like everything that happens is their fault. You can't deal with those psychological problems as an employer. You can only turn the employee's attention to, well, do we agree that we have a goal that's not being met, and let's sit down and see what we can do to fix it. You know, so kind of bring them back to the current problem, but don't try and get involved in their other personal problems that might be making them angry about the fact that you're pointing out shortcomings. If this is happening to them in their personal lives, I mean, you just want to bring it back to the workplace, right? And say, okay, you know, things may be happening that I can't control, but let's talk about what we can do to control the problem that we have now, or the issue that we have before us now. So kind of try and bring that back. So that's always a good strategy to use. So how might employees react to the appraisal? We're going to talk about this slide in a few moments and in our next video.